Today we're going to reach into the mind of Reekay. Now, this is the thing I gotta say. If you're a fan, I hope you can watch the video and see what his strategy usually is for dating techniques, which are pretty flawed. I mean, from a divorced man who can barely keep a relationship for 1 year, and also the fact that he contradicts himself in plenty of videos, every other video uploads, which I'm gonna show you here. At least hopefully you guys can see it through a point of view, my reaction towards these. Going to talk about Ricky from Life Beyond the Sea. Most of these opinions are gonna be from my personal experience.
Froggy can't be in the world out there. Froggy never did anything wrong. I gotta find Froggy. Froggy!
From what I met him and from what I used to be a viewer of his, okay? And I try to search a lot and I try to give him the benefit of a doubt, even if he had previous accusations before and all that. So I'm trying to be partial here, okay? I used to be a big time subscriber and I even met him. But I'll tell you more about that in a little bit in this video. Anyway, we're gonna start from number 1. Goes to different cities and hides under traveling.
I don't want to give the impression that all province girls, all of them, are sweet little angels. I've run into my problems with province girls as well, but not as badly.
So yeah, this is the one thing. He goes to different cities, hides under the guise of traveling, but you know, sometimes in reality, the guy probably gets in trouble, usually with his exes, or he gets in trouble with certain girls.
Your social presence is immediately known, you know, so here, you know, if you have a falling out with a Filipina, then you date someone else in Cebu, chances are they don't know each other, you just get a fresh start.
Who knows? But this is the thing, he guides it under traveling and he constantly moves around, and every time he moves around, he always makes a video about how he doesn't like that certain place. But then you see a few months later, he goes back.
Gotcha, bitch!
And you know, it starts with a different woman. Every time is with a different woman. Yeah. So it's under the guise of traveling. But in reality, I'm like, why can't the guy just find a place to settle down? Number 2, talks about Filipinos like creatures.
You know, they're here to be found on every island. Guys ask me, well, where's the best place to find a good Filipina? Every island I've gone to has good women.
Okay, this is the thing. He talks about these girls like they are little exotic creatures. And he mostly makes a lot of generalizations like, oh, we're to find the good girls. And the good girls are usually, for him, according to him, the good girls are any girl with zero education that lives in the offbeat province somewhere.
You know, she doesn't do her calculations based on he looks like Brad Pitt or not. We do. You know, we want the most attractive girl we can get. That's how we are.
Away from the city. That is a good girl for him. And you know, he gets some like little creatures, like, oh, these girls from the bow, they're certain height, and you know, he talks about the certain stats.
Compared to all the other islands I've been to, a lot of the women in Davao, I guess it's a genetic thing, but a lot of them are even shorter than your average Filipina.
Like you're trying to find a good dog. If you see his videos and replace the word Filipina with dog, you're gonna see like, what the hell? It's like an easy way to find a dog. Not every place has good dogs, but the dogs, you can find them good in the province, and then the province and the dogs replace, and go to his videos, replace the word Filipina with dogs. And you're gonna see, they treat them like creatures. Replace it with any animal you want, and you're gonna see him. He talks about them like creatures, like he's that Aussie guy, you know, like from the safari and all this, like all these exotic Pinays. Number 3, BS advice. This is the thing. He does a lot of he's the one of the originators who started the consultation thing.
Like I do FaceTime consults on Skype, and when it comes to that question, I tell them the truth that I've found over the years is that the good women are really good and the bad ones are really bad.
Gotcha, bitch. $35, $25 per hour. Now you got copy paste. Geo does the same model. I'm wondering, like, why you give all these BS advice?
You wanna approach her, tactfully, because you don't know if she's got a boyfriend or married. But if you just start some conversation, hey, how you doing? You got a boyfriend?
Google is easier. If anybody wants to pay $35 an hour, just save it.
When Filipino women, young women, attractive women, see an older guy, foreigner in his 50s, his 60s, what they see is an attractive choice for a mate. That's what she sees. A stable guy who's not a cheater and has life experience. She can learn from this guy.
Do not give it to this man. Just Google it. Look at any videos. There's a lot of expats giving free advice anywhere. Advice should be free. Number 4, delusional about women.
And the good ones will stick around, and they're in it for you. And they're in it for you. And they're in it for you.
Okay, this is the thing. He's usually saying Filipinas are not in it for you, not for your money. They can love a 60-year-old man as long as he's nice and smile. That is total.
The only problem you're gonna have is like, which one do I pick?
Even Filipinos here, like, they would see other younger Filipinos with older expats and older men, and they would think, man, that's gold digging, or she's with somebody with money. Even Filipino with like a older Pinoy guy with a younger girl, they're gonna say that's money, age gap relationship. They're not gonna tell you straight out.
And there's this heavy bias and even bigotry against any older guy who's with a younger woman. And the immediate assumption is, oh, she's just with him for the money. And even many guys who have lived here, it's hard for them to understand being with a younger woman unless it's with, say, a young prostitute. They think it's always about money, and it's not.
But that's what it is. And he's delusional, like, the women are there for me, for my personality. I think you mean personality. Number 5, aims for women with low incomes. This is his strategy. And goes to the provinces and goes aiming for women with low incomes, low education from the province who hasn't, especially who have not been exposed to expats yet.
Whether it's the grocery store, walking down the street, the girl that works at the bakery, the girl buying bread at the bakery, whatever.
Why? Maybe because he's a cheap Charlie and they already had a good life before or something. But he doesn't like to expose that.
Where do you find the good girls? The less interaction that a girl has had with expat foreigners, the better.
He doesn't go for like these educated women with degrees. He doesn't go for any professionals out there. I don't know why. I mean, it's easier to find a girl with a degree.
It's a lot like fishing. In a mall, you might see kiosks where they sell.
You're going to run into women standing in line for the ferry or
phones. They might sell popcorn, near the cinema. They might sell hot dogs. They might be selling jewelry. They might be selling any number of
random women.
You can talk to these girls and just have some idle chit chat, and then just get the ball rolling.
Out there, he's been here for 8 years in this country, and seriously, that's all he gets. Like, all he gets is these really young, uneducated Filipina girls who are impoverished.
The fish market / mercado. Even if you don't need a bunch of vegetables, just go and buy some bananas or something. And just take 2 hours to do it. And take time to be friendly. Pick a location that does not have a whole bunch of expats. Get yourself into town. Get down to the mercado. Because where there's people, there's women.
You know how sick that sounds? If you're doing it straight for 8 years, you're the love guru, and then that's all you can pick up? Scraps? Get real, man.
I'd love, though, I mean, I'm all willing to look at any stone that has not been, turned over.
So going to number 6, questionable dating techniques. All right, so we all seen a lot of his videos, and there's a lot of controversy going on with that.
Have like what I call high school dating. High school dating. High school dating.
The few videos that I always see, his common technique is usually mentor-protege relationships. That's his H-gap relationships, his euphemism.
The older man with a younger woman relationship is one of a mentor-protege format.
And then he calls it a teacher-student relationship.
Maybe even more simpler term would be a teacher-student type of relationship.
Like, what the hell? That is so creepy. And then he comes to saying, oh, these girls are saplings and they need to be molded and grown.
Help her grow. You know, she's like this little sapling and you need to protect her, water her, nurture her.
That's pretty much combing. It's so funny that he's so obsessed with this school thing. There's so many accusations where the guy actually owns a schoolgirl outfit.
You have to be willing to be the mentor, the teacher.
Gotcha, bitch!
And it's not just from people that hate him. It's also from other viewers. It's kind of sick. Number 7, contradicts himself. Oh yeah, that's an easy one. He's always contradicting himself. Always, every time. I don't get this part where he says this one thing, how girls like you for your money, and then another one saying, oh, girls love you just for you. It doesn't make any sense. A lot of his stuff is contradictory. For example, when he went to get B,
one of the first things I did, I got on my plane up, and by 2 in the afternoon, first thing I did was I met with her parents.
He tells a lot of his audience, don't go to dating sites, do not go with a girl already lined up, just go there and visit, blah blah blah.
Get to the Philippines with no commitments. Don't line anything up ahead online. Just get here.
But then you see him with B going out in the airport, meeting the family, and all of a sudden they're together, just like that.
As soon as you announce you're coming to the Philippines, each of these girls you're talking to, they're going to say, oh, I'll meet you at the airport, or you got to meet my family, or we got to meet, and this and that. So you're already locked in, to these particular girls that you really know nothing about.
And usually in his videos he says, have 3 months, 6 months, 9 months getting to know each other.
I'll say what I've said before. You move here, don't just blaze into town for 3 weeks and think you're going to find the love of your life. I know plenty of guys do that. Get to know them for 3, 6, 9 months. By that time, you're going to go, oh, okay, this girl is legit.
But he doesn't do it himself. Number 8, promotes Sexpat's stuff, activity. He promotes Sexpat activities in his Patreon.
How to find like a bad girl. If you want that information, you can go and sign up at my Patreon account, Committed Bachelors, and they're not looking for a serious relationship, but they do want female company. How they can do that on their own terms and all that. I cover all that in the Bachelor channel.
So basically, that's what it is. He has this euphemism called a bachelor in recreational dating. In reality, recreational dating, it just means fooling women or being a sexpat. You come here to the Philippines to be a sexpat. That's all it is. Where if you want to find the bad girls, you go to my Patreon where I will teach you. So he's teaching you how to pick up hookers or pick up sluts for the bad girls, or what do you... Obviously, that's what it is. That's what you're implying. Because you give the good girl advice in your videos in public, but you don't like to give it in private where you're making off profits. Do you really, from this sexpat advice, does Reekay really pay the IRS?
I have a dating, actually a bachelor course that focuses on the 2 types of dating. Guys that have decided they're never getting married ever again. They just want to be a committed bachelor the rest of their life. So you've got what you call relationship dating and recreational dating.
The IRS know that this is what he's teaching people, like to exploit women? Really? That's what it is. That's what it sounds to me. If you're a guy that actually subscribed to this channel and actually are paying for his Patreon, please comment down below. I would like to know your opinion, and if you'd like to prove me wrong and show me some clips or whatever, I'm open, to discussions about that, because that's what it's really sounding to me every time he mentions it.
So you're a freshman, right? Yeah. So tell me, man, how's this year's crop of freshman chicks looking?
What, you could end up in jail sometime over the summer, I know that. Fact.
No, man.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.